you start building that, listening to yourself, not only you start feeling more self-love, but also you feel more confident because you know that you've got yourself. You will be always there for yourself. You can rely on yourself. We are the people with whom we're spending 24/7 together. 24/7. Can you trust yourself? Have you built that relationship? Welcome everyone to LifewithLiza podcast. Our mission at LifewithLiza is to share people's stories and the challenges that they have overcome so that those who are listening in can get the strength, the courage, and the hope to be their better selves. Today we have a special edition episode and I'll be your guest, and I wanted to talk about the topic that I'm on a personal quest of learning more about, and it is confidence. And what is actually the root cause of insecurities and why so many girls, young girls these days, are so insecure. I feel like for me it's a very important topic to discuss because I am obsessed with people becoming their best selves. And I feel like when people are insecure or not confident, they're way less likely to take that action and to go for their dreams. And for me, that is heartbreaking. I don't want to see people who live their life and then they never truly even went for realizing their full potential. Imagine how many beautiful things they could have created, organized, that we would never see just because they were insecure or didn't have the confidence. So firstly, I just wanted to mention about the insecurities, and I do find that a lot of that comes from two things. Firstly, it's about the relationship that you have with yourself and how good is your relationship with yourself. And the second part is comparing yourself to others. So let's just start going into each of these parts. So as for the relationship with yourself, that's something that I personally found that I've been quite good at, in the sense ever since I was little, I remember I was prioritizing what I wanted to do. And it might sound selfish, but actually that helped me build the relationship with myself where I trust myself, I believe in myself, I know that I can do that. And it's not to say that I don't feel any insecurities or that I feel always 100% confident. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that I was lucky enough to take the small steps to build the relationship with myself and also to invest in the relationship with myself. So for example, I remember when I was like 4 years old, my mom said that we will have lunch in like 1 hour, and I was like, no, I'm hungry now. So what little me 4 years old did, I just pulled a little chair because I could not reach the stove where the mashed potatoes was prepped like in a huge pan, so I couldn't reach it. So I found a little chair, I dragged that little chair, I stepped on the little chair, and I was literally just like about to go with my hand into like a boiling pot, like boiling hot mashed potato pot, so that I could get my mashed potatoes and eat them. And my mom like walked in, and that second she was like, what are you doing? So I didn't get burnt in the end. But I always remember like even like in these tiny steps, like doing what I want, and that helped me build this beautiful relationship with myself. And also at the same time, another thing that really helps to build the relationship with yourself is just, for example, there's things that are good for you. For example, like working out, right? It is good for you and you should be doing it. And there are many times when you don't even feel like doing it. But how to distinguish that? How to distinguish the fact when you should not be forcing something upon you that you actually truly do not desire, or when is your mind actually playing games on you and it will make you feel better if you do that. So how to distinguish between those two. So what I do personally, for example, when I have a workout planned and then I wake up, for example, and I don't feel like working out, I ask myself, why? And then I listen. And the answers pop in my mind like, oh, I just feel lazy and I don't feel like dragging weights. Or I feel a bit stressed about work and I actually would prefer to work. And then you can really listen to the true reason why, and then you can act accordingly. So if it's just like a laziness reason, I would actually just dismiss it, because I would be like, this is not a good why. And I would still do the workout. Like, you've got to do the workout. Like, you can imagine, like, as if you have two different people in yourself and you're negotiating between them. But if, for example, what I mentioned, I said that I feel a bit stressed about work and actually really prefer to get some work done, then I was like, oh, okay, no problem. Let's do the work, and then you can work out in the evening or in the afternoon. And you start like building that relation with yourself. And actually sometimes the reason is like, I just really feel not so good and I feel a bit tired and I feel like pushing myself to work out today would actually not serve me. And then I'm like, oh, okay, sorry, like I didn't want to push you. So you can see, like, you can really get into that relationship with yourself where you listen to yourself so much and you understand like the deeper why, because the answer is not always clear cut what is best for you. And you cannot say like what will be best for you in every single day, because it differs from day to day. But having that relation with yourself, you just like once you start building that, listening to yourself, not only you start feeling more self-love, but also you feel more confident, because you know that you've got yourself. You will be always there for yourself. You can rely on yourself. We are the people with whom we are spending 24/7 together. 24/7. Can you trust yourself? Have you built that relationship? Or are you looking up to other people to do something for you, to make you feel a certain way? A lot of insecurities spring from that, because when we desire for someone else to give up to us what we truly desire, we don't realize that we actually have to generate it from inside first. If we desire to get the compliments, we need to give the compliments to ourselves first. Do you feel that? You have everything what it takes inside of you, but by building that relationship with yourself, you kind of unveil it. You open it up, you tap into that. You stop relying on other people to tell you something. You can say that to yourself. I just really want that to sink in. So that was the first part. I feel like a lot of insecurities and feeling not confident springs from the broken relationship with yourself. And the second part was about comparing yourself to others. And personally, I think that's something that I shared already in other podcasts when I was talking with my guests. Just wanted to say that whenever I find myself comparing myself to others, and that still happens, for example, comparing myself to other content creators, I realize that whenever I just start comparing it and it comes from a place of insecurity, I don't feel good afterwards, and I actually feel way more insecure when after I've done that. And I just wanted here to mention 2 points, because comparing in itself is not bad. It's when it comes from a place of insecurity. And I only recently started tapping into that idea, so let me try to explain what exactly I mean and why comparing in itself is not bad. Because I feel like when we do compare, we choose things to compare ourselves to that we ourselves actually truly crave to be, to become, to do. And it's a good signal for us to gain that extra self-awareness. For example, you compare yourself to other creators online, and you're like, why do I compare myself to other creators? And then you can see, oh, because actually I really also want to get better at that, and I want to serve more people, and I want to see how they are doing it. I want to use them as my role model. I want to know how far I am or how close I'm getting, etc. So in that way, it can increase your self-awareness, because then you get that signal what you truly desire. and you can use them as your role model. And once you flip that switch and start thinking of them as your role model, then you realize that not only it's inspiring because they're doing it and it is possible, but also it's encouraging you to take that action. And now you're like, wow, I can also be there if I take the actions that they are taking on a daily basis. If I put in that effort, I can get to that place. And I'll be once I'm there, I'll also be doing it in my own unique way. But there are some certain blueprints that everyone is using that I can follow and help, and that will actually push me to get there. Because as Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues. So by actually having the role models, looking at them, comparing yourself to someone who is just like one chapter ahead of you, you can actually see what they have done to get there and replicate it so that you can get there even faster as well for yourself, and not to reinvent the wheel. But also the other part that I wanted to say, when it comes to more superficial comparing, not just because you want to get there and it's actually the person's your role model, but more superficial comparing, I feel like that is actually something that is a fuel for insecurities. And the way to put water on that fuel and to remove that is by actually complimenting others mentally. So what I personally do, and it's a huge confidence boost, whenever I see people on the streets walking, I'm like, what would I compliment that person on? Even if it's a complete stranger, it's like, do they wear a nice outfit? Do I love their smile? Is it the energy that they carry in themselves with? Is it their beautiful eyes? Is it their hair? And then I just like find beautiful things in every person that I meet. And then I feel myself so confident. And I feel like when you cannot give something to others that you don't have in yourself. And by finding beauty in others, you find it in yourself, or you see it in yourself. By finding beauty, by looking for beauty in others, you also find it in yourself. I find that very beautiful. So instead of comparing yourself to and saying like, oh, I am better than, I have hair better than that person, oh, my hair is worse than that person, whatever it is, think just purely from a place of love and confidence. Like, what would you actually compliment that person on? Spend a day like that, see what it does to your confidence. And then when you walk on the streets, you'll have a feeling that everyone is complimenting you. It's just a mental trick, but it's so, so powerful. And yeah, so these were the 2 points that I just wanted to unpack. I feel like it's very, very important to me, this topic. I really want you to achieve your full potential. And because, you know what I was also thinking, it's whenever you want to try out something new, or whenever you're failing, the reason that will come up to your mind of why you're failing would be your biggest insecurity. It's like, oh, it's because I'm not beautiful enough, or it's because I am female, or it's because I am Ukrainian, or it's because I am not smart enough, or it's because I'm not wealthy enough, or whatever it is would be your insecurity. That would come up as a reason why you should not try something, or why you're failing, or something is not happening for you. Okay? But actually, it's just the explanation that your mind gives to you so that it keeps you safe and in your comfort zone. But I would challenge you to address your insecurities, to practice those confidence tips, to go out there and compliment people, to see what it does to your confidence, and also share it with others, because we need more confident people. We need more people who go for their dreams, who become their better selves, who show up for this world. And yeah, I love you so much. Thank you for listening to this episode. I hope it brought you a lot of value. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps you to show up as your most confident self. Love you, and see you in the next episode.